Hey there, I'm Amy Connell. Welcome to Graced Health, the podcast for women who want simple and grace-filled ways of taking care of themselves. I'm a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach who wants you to know your eating, movement, and body don't have to be perfect. You just need to be able to do what you're called to do. Okay, I am doing something a little differently today. First of all, I am just going to commit that I am recording this and I am not editing it. So I hope it goes okay. This is coming out the last Tuesday of January 2023, and I thought I would just pop in for a minute and have a shorter episode for those of you who have consistently listened and who have been listening, and I hope who continue to listen, whether or not this is your first time or if it is your 250th time. I think we have even more episodes than that right now. But I just wanted to come in really quickly and kind of let you know what I've been doing this month and what is coming. And then I have a request. So if you've been listening, you know that I took a little bit of time off over the holidays. And then in January, I have been releasing some solo episodes. The deal with solo episodes is they don't really take any less time to put together because I do a lot of research. I do a lot of thought. This isn't just, no one wants to hear me just jabbering on. That's just, no, we just don't need that. So it does take me about as long to create a solo episode as it does for an interview, because I also prep for my interview guests and I think of my questions ahead of time and all of that. But it just gives me a little bit of flexibility. Mostly because I took time off in December, I did not have as many interviews that were just kind of backlogged and ready to be released. And it takes time to edit them and all of the back end stuff and the socials and the, what do we call them? I want to say the canvas, but the graphics. There we go, the graphics. And so it just takes a while. And I thought, you know what? I just kind of need to simplify this, which this is a thing that drives my children crazy about me. But we can turn that into a little lesson and we can have that lesson of sometimes we just have to change things and make it work for the season that we are in. So my season over January was I just kind of needed to catch myself up. I was also focusing a lot on some back-end things. I was focusing a lot on my speaking business because that is one big focus for 2023 is increasing that. And I've been doing some strategic planning, which brings me to where we are going and what is new for you. Now, if you are a fan of this podcast, don't worry, it's not really changing. And in February, we are getting back to kind of the regular rhythm. The regular rhythm on this show is the first 3 weeks is typically an interview with a guest. And then the last week is a solo episode with me. If we have 5 weeks, I will try to sprinkle something fun in and just maybe something that's not necessarily health related, but that doesn't always happen because sometimes it's more health related or sometimes it's me or you just never know. You just never know. But that's kind of the general, thought that I have and the rhythm that I have this. So if you're listening, you may be like, oh yeah, that's what it is. You probably have never noticed like, oh, the first 3 weeks are guests and then the last one is a solo one, but that's what I do. So just so you know. The other thing I have really been thinking about is how to take the 250 plus episodes that have been released and have them not die on the vine. I feel like they are dying on the vine. Now, I get a lot of listens, like one-off listen to episodes. I can see this in my Buzzsprout analytics. And I love that. I'm like, people are coming in and listen to these one episodes, and that's great. So on any given day, I could have 20 to 30 episodes that people are listening to, like there's 1 or 2 listens. And so I'm thrilled with that. I think that's great. What I really want to do though, is because I have had such amazing guests with such quality content, I really want to make sure that that stays out there in the universe. Right now, with what I understand about everything, and I listen to a lot of podcasts on like how to run a podcast and how to do that. The answer to me that feels right now is to have a little bit more of a presence on YouTube. Nothing is changing here. I'm still going to be in your ears every Tuesday if you will allow me. But what I'm doing is I'm going over to YouTube for a few things. I want to let you know about this because if you have people in your life who don't listen to podcasts, they may be able to find some really great value in the coming months and in the future by going to my channel over on YouTube. And that is Graced Health, just like everything else. And in fact, I will have the link in the show below. But what am I going to do on YouTube? So I'm really trying to follow my podcast mentor's advice, and that is called repurposing. So if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you have seen these reels. I have a young woman who's in college who is helping me create those reels. And again, I don't want those dying on the vine. So I am putting those on YouTube. I call them Movement Mondays. So they will be on Mondays and then some other ones on Friday. And those are shorts. So those are 60 seconds or less. All right. So I try and give you something that's really valuable and you can do it in 60 seconds or less. So those are going to be on Mondays and Fridays on YouTube. On Tuesdays, for most of the guests that I have had since September, I am going to have the long form, unedited video of my interview with the guests. The interviews that you hear, that you hear, are lightly edited. I do not want to have or feel like I need to have a perfect podcast. However, I do clean things up a little bit. The ones over on YouTube, just because of the way that it's streamed over, it is what it is. It's fine. And like, I have no problem putting it on there. So anyway, those are Tuesdays. And then on Thursdays, I'm starting something new and I'm excited about this and I'm a little not frustrated, but I'm figuring it out. I'm calling it 5 in 5. I recognize that not everybody has 50 to 60 minutes to watch an interview. So I am going back into the backlog of episodes. And really, I'm just kind of starting in September and I will be playing around with that. And I am doing what I'm calling 5 in 5. And those are 5 of my takeaways from this particular guest in 5 minutes or less. And then if whoever watches that and they're like, oh yeah, well, that sounds really interesting, I want to hear the full episode, then they can watch the full episode. So that's kind of the YouTube plan. What I would really love, I'm going to have a couple call to actions here. The first one is if you have a YouTube channel, I have the link in the episode description. If you would just click the link and hit subscribe. That would mean so much to me because that will actually help. You will see I am a new channel. I don't have all that many subscribers, but I'm working on it. And everything I understand, it takes about 6 months to do that. And even better, if you could watch any of the videos that are on there, watch it the full way through. So just watch a bunch of shorts or pick one of the shorter videos and you can watch that. YouTube actually tracks the watch time. So when you watch a full video, that's really helpful to the person, just as a little FYI, and then give it a like. Again, those are just things to help the analytics to let YouTube know that, hey, this is quality content. I'll shoot it out to more people. So that's why when you watch these videos, especially like if you have children and they watch the videos and are like, slam the like button and subscribe or whatever it is. I don't even know what it is. Like that's why, because it's helpful. It's really helpful because it tells YouTube that this is good content. So that is what is going on with YouTube. Now, the second request I have is right now, it's 4-question survey. That's a Google form. It's completely anonymous. And I would love to hear what you want. I would love to hear the things that are interesting to you, that you want more of on this podcast. And I'm particularly thinking of doing some other programming. So perhaps a Patreon level type of support, perhaps an online course. The two ones that I have in mind right now are like I'm calling it Bad Knees, Good Workouts. So it's specifically designed if you have bad knees and you want to get a workout, but like you can't do a bunch of squats and lunges, it would be an actual video. I know I've had the free download Squat Free Strong Legs, but this is actually going to be me doing the movements with you, and it would probably be a full week or something that would be very comprehensive. And these would be courses for purchase. The other one that I'm thinking about doing is Aging Strong. If you have been listening, you know that I have had a real interest in spinal health right now, in bone health, particularly as it relates to aging and preventing osteopenia, osteoporosis, or at least having or what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not going to stop this because I said I wasn't going to edit, but preventing it or slowing the decline of your spine. So it would just take you a couple minutes. And so I'm going to keep this really short today. So you have the time to go in there, go watch a video on YouTube, and then go fill out the form. Those would be really helpful to me. Next week, we are resuming our normal programming, which sounds like something from, what was it, like TGIF or whatever? Anyway, from old school TV. So next week is normal. I'm having a really fun conversation next week with a woman named Alexis Overstreet, who is a therapist who actually helps therapists with self-care, but she does that with the soft body foam roller that we learned about from Sue Hitzman, who taught us all about our connective tissue. I know a lot of you loved that information. And so even though she focuses on helping therapists, she can also help you if you are sitting at your desk a lot. So she brings some really great information. And I just really loved that conversation. So again, go visit my YouTube channel. If you can subscribe, watch any video in full and like it, and then also fill out the form, I'd be so appreciative. I'm going to leave you extra time to do that. And yes, I really did record this without stopping. I'm going to just hit publish and we're going to go from there. Okay, that is all for today. Go out there and have a graced day.